The new variant of COVID-19 is spreading in Florida.
We are in a tough final stretch, made only tougher by the new variant,
making the vaccine rollout even more critical in the months ahead. On WFTV tonight, we'll show you the hurdles ahead to get the vaccine distributed quickly. Plus, we're honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
This is, I think, our history. This is our future.
How Central Florida remembered the civil rights icon after a year filled with more protests for social justice.
This is WFTV Tonight.
Today, the U.S. topped 24 million coronavirus cases since the pandemic started less than a year ago. Florida has the third most cases reported in the entire country. Thanks for watching WFTV Tonight. I'm Greg Wormuth. Martha Sagowski has the night off. The COVID-19 vaccine will help us stop the spread of the virus, no doubt, but the rollout continues to hit roadblocks. Tonight, we're looking at the shortages happening across Central Florida that have led to canceled appointments for thousands of people. We're also looking at one thing the state's vaccine plan does not address. But first, we want to start with a new warning about the latest, more contagious COVID-19 variant. We told you last week that Florida had 22 cases of this new UK strain. That number has since more than doubled, and the CDC released a new study detailing what could lie ahead with this variant if we don't take action against it now. Alexa Lorenzo details the research that shows the new strain could worsen the pandemic in Florida and in the United States. Certainly a moving target. Thank you, Alexa. Now, Florida's vaccine plan focuses on people 65 years of age and older. The governor says this is because that group is more likely to end up with a severe case of COVID-19. WFTV Tonight first uncovered a new contract with a private company to get the vaccine into assisted living facilities. That company, CDR Health, says it will start vaccinating assisted living facilities in Central Florida this week.
Everything we've been told and planned for last year, starting in November, indicated that we would have been some of the first.
That hasn't happened. CDR Health expects to be done with Central Florida's assisted living facilities by next week. We'll stay on top of them and make sure that happens. And the vaccine plan addresses hospitalizations, but some critics say it fails to address community spread. You heard in Alexa's story how critical the vaccine will be as we try to get this new variant of COVID-19 under control as well. Megan Cruz continues our team coverage tonight with the limitations of our plan and what that means for you. Megan?
It means we can't just ditch these masks and start crowding hallways like this one anytime soon, because cases are spreading widely among people not getting vaccinated.
Again, Megan Cruz reporting there. As we know by now, supply, of course, one of the biggest hurdles to getting this vaccine out quicker. In the Villages, 7,500 appointments for people to get their first shot they were canceled this weekend, and for now, appointments for the second dose of the vaccine are still on. A failed shipment of the vaccine and a national shortage has thousands wondering tonight when or if they will get their life-saving vaccines soon enough. Flagler County, meantime, says it could possibly get more vaccines this week. The county says it has not heard anything for sure, but Emergency Management Director Jonathan Lord told us that the county could find out as soon as tomorrow when it gets its next shipment. Volusia County announced today it would do at least 1,200 doses over 3 days later this week and next. Online registration for the Volusia event opens Wednesday at 9 a.m. We also have a link to that on our website, WFTV.com. Now, while the state works to vaccinate people 65 and older, essential workers are pushing to be included in the next priority group. TSA workers at Orlando International Airport are hoping to get theirs through an agreement with Homeland Security and the VA, but it is only available at 8 VA medical centers as of now. The closest one to Orlando is in Miami. Here's what the father of a TSA agent in Orlando told us today.
COVID is also a clear and present danger, and the government is not protecting its own people.
The TSA said it is working with its field managers to try to obtain an alternate source of the vaccine for workers. The VA anticipates expanding its sites nationwide at some point, but no timeline for that has been laid out. Of course, this whole story is about supply and demand. The information and guidance on this vaccine rollout is, of course, changing daily. We'll have up-to-the-minute information available on our website, WFTV.com, and also push out those alerts on when you can sign up and where if you've not done so already. In other big news today, tensions are rising in D.C. as we get closer to Inauguration Day. After the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol, there are serious security concerns over a peaceful transfer of power on Wednesday. Faith Abube is showing us the strict measures in place this week. And the White House is also finalizing a list of presidential pardons expected to be announced tomorrow. Meanwhile, President-elect Biden and incoming VP Kamala Harris had one last rehearsal before the inauguration. Things will look a whole lot different Wednesday than during any other inauguration because of this tightened security and a very small group of people that will be there to watch. Central Florida is honoring the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today. Why the traditional service holiday was all about support this year.
Well, frost and a freeze likely in some neighborhoods tonight. Already in the 30s out there in some spots. I'm updating some big changes, though, on the way.
Bringing people breaking news and bringing it to them live on the air is as real as it gets.
The news is 24 hours. It can change in a second.
And we can talk to you live about situations that are happening right then and there and bring it to you in the morning so you're ready, so you're prepared.
Whether that's the roads or the weather or the big news story, our job is to equip you with everything you need to start your day.
Whether it's the most serious of news days, the toughest of news days, and we've been through them before together, we have your back.
More than 300 faith leaders in Florida have come together to say no to a proposed law by Governor Ron DeSantis. The Combating Violence, Disorder, and Looting and Law Enforcement Protection Act, that's what it's called, was proposed by the governor back in September. If passed, it would mean much harsher penalties for some protesters. We spoke to one local faith leader who says this could lead to bigger problems actually down the line.
This is not only an issue that is concerning people of color, but it's concerning other organizations, other groups of people who also engage themselves in the process of peaceful protests.
In it, anyone who strikes a law enforcement officer during a violent or disorderly assembly would face a minimum of 6 months behind bars. There also would be no bond or bail until first appearance in court if charged with participating in a violent protest. Protesters who block roads and cause damage to people or property would face a third-degree felony. Well, today we honor and celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the minister and civil rights icon, dedicated his life, of course, to peacefully protesting for civil rights. The holiday is usually a day of service. Karen Park shows us how a local church is using the day to help support black small business owners. Right, Karen Park's there reporting. In honor of MLK Day, Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings toured the Holocaust Center of Florida Social Justice exhibit. It is called Uprooting Prejudice, Faces of Change. The exhibit features a series of photos snapped by a Minneapolis photographer during the unrest after George Floyd's killing at the hands of Minneapolis police officers last year.
The photographer, John Noltner, went and interviewed people, and he took their pictures and he captured their very pure, raw emotions and asked them a very simple question of what do you want to say?
The exhibit is a partnership with Orange County, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Initiative, and the Holocaust Memorial Resource and Education Center of Florida. Well, right now we are looking at a few changes in our weather pattern this week. We'll slowly get warmer and drier over the next few days, but tonight it is cold. Eyewitness News certified chief meteorologist Tom Terry is watching the mercury drop for us tonight. Tom?
That's right. Overnight frost expected to form here in just the next hour or so, and it's going to be, I think, relatively widespread north and west of downtown Orlando. This is early warning future track showing you the areas that will be cold enough to get frost to form. We've got Orlando, Kissimmee, mostly out of the freeze and frost area, but where we have this magenta color, that's where we're going to get in the 30s and a chance for frost in the morning. And from Marion County north, a chance for a freeze. In fact, here are the overnight low temperatures: 34 in Palm Coast, 32 in Ocala. So that's where that freeze and frost will likely be, about 41 in downtown Orlando. But high pressure is going to move back in as a jet stream retreats to the north. That means warmer weather that will stick around probably for 2 weeks. We may be into early February before we get another substantial drop in temperatures. Tomorrow looks nice, right around 70 degrees. Daytona Beach, we've got warmer weather gradually for you. We'll also also be watching a slight chance for a coastal shower this weekend. Here's your 5-day forecast. Weekend always in view. A whole bunch of 70s, including a slight chance for maybe a coastal shower through Sunday. Greg, not too bad.
Looks good. Thank you, Tom. Florida Space Coast coming back swinging after losing the bid for Space Command headquarters. The next space project local leaders are setting their sights on now. It's next.
With the pandemic and the latest local news, there's a lot changing overnight. So Eyewitness News this morning will keep you informed on what's new. With live weather and traffic every 10 minutes, get a detailed local forecast and your traffic conditions happening right now and for the entire day ahead. Plus, with the rising COVID numbers, we'll prepare you for what's next as Central Florida receives the vaccines. Watch Eyewitness News this morning live tomorrow starting at 4:30 a.m.
State and local officials are moving forward after finding out the U.S. Space Command headquarters is not coming to Brevard County after all. We're learning about a new push, though, to lure part of the U.S. Space Force to the Space Coast. Mel Holt is showing us the next project Florida state leaders have their eyes on. All right, Mel Holt reporting. The U.S. Space Command is not the same as the U.S. Space Force. Space Command, one of 11 combatant commands in the military that controls various troops from all service branches for a specific mission or location. For example, Central Command is in charge of operations in the Middle East, while Transportation Command is in charge of transporting troops and equipment. Space operations were part of the Air Force until last year. The Pentagon serves as the headquarters for the U.S. Space Force. Hours of work by one local group can create a product that warms people's hearts and bodies during these stressful times. Coming up, how the Quilting Angels of Central Florida are working hard to keep Central Florida warm and Central Florida strong. Just ahead.
Get local breaking news alerts when you download the Channel 9 News app.
The Doppler 9 radar is driven by Toyota Orlando and Toyota Claremont.
Great story to finish things up tonight. Food, water, shelter, all basic human needs, but sometimes people just need to feel like someone cares, and that can be difficult to give. But Joe Kepner found a local group that has been making people feel better for more than 2 decades. And unless you've received their help, you might not know that they've been there, keeping Central Florida strong.
It's a well-known fact that the most comforting object on earth is a handmade quilt.
So many great examples of people doing for others during this pandemic. That's the good side of all of this. All right, on that note, we'll close things out. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your evening. Take care. Stay well.